Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, on the blogger site, and on Patreon for extra support and any kind of updates and such. Usually a good bot on Twitter, X, mainly usually regarding live streams. So later today we're going to get Marvel's Midnight Suns episode, and I will be doing for the moment one episode per day in workday. So throughout Monday to Friday, I will post an episode again, also on Rumble, because I got quite a few backlog episodes, so I can at least publish them in a more swiftly manner, let's say. And I didn't do anything on the weekend. I took advantage of almost having my PC for a year and did a deep cleaning. So disassembling everything from the case to the GPU to the cooler to everything, and I just did a deep clean. It took me basically all day yesterday, so now everything is on proper order. And rest assured, everything turned on after I clicked the button. So that's that. I didn't lost the touch of disassembling and assembling a PC altogether, which is good. So let's go to the news. We got more rumblings regarding RDNA 4, and probably these rumblings that also been around. I don't think I covered this one. The Similarly, supposedly AMD was working on launching RX 74 and 7300 series GPUs. Again, we don't have basically any kind of uh, details per se. You got some stuff only regarding memory and TDPs, which is again. Since I saw this a few weeks ago, I didn't lend any credence, mainly because it doesn't make huge chance from AMD to launch this, at least for the DIY market, because 7600 it's already a very entry level GPU. The price is not that bad in that sense, and it's a pretty good 1080p GPU to at least work around and have an entry level experience on games there. I think this was is more about aiming. I don't know, maybe some laptop GPU chips there, or maybe OEM kind of pre-built stuff for enterprise servers that need some kind of VGA output with some VGA memory. I don't know, something in those lines. Doesn't make a lot of sense for them to do some kind of shenanigans that they did, for example, with the 6500 and the 6400 GPUs. 4 gigabytes and even 8, it's on the limits here. Even the power in terms of processing doesn't make sense if they put this in the lower end on the 7000 series. And I think the investment for AIBs to do this kind of GPUs doesn't make also too much sense, given that the price to performance probably will not compensate and make basically any kind of money. Yeah, it's interesting what they're trying to do here. But I think even the AIBs themselves don't have any kind of anything regarding that. What they have is for RDNA 4 and the upcoming 8000 GPUs. Again, what we know from there is basically there isn't any kind of high-end GPUs from the 8000 series. We're going to get probably 8800 and 8700, probably 8600 GPU series there. I think the 88, which is the higher end, they're going to launch with RDNA 4, will compete in terms of performance, at least between the 7900 XT and the 7800 XT. Again, we still don't have like a fine-tuned performance on that. And in terms of price, again, I don't know. What I know, and it's what is being revealed, it's this generation RDNA 4 was more about trying to uplift the performance in terms of ray tracing. So any kind of change in architecture in that sense, and maybe bring a little bit more uplift in terms of performance rasterized, but not that huge. I think their focus was more working their architecture in terms of uplift, in terms of ray tracing, which is something that it's lacking in the current GPU series. Myself having a 7900 XTX, and I still never try to double too much on ray tracing. Again, for the games that I've been playing, mainly Elden Ring, it's the game that I play the most. And even on other games, like older games, don't even kind of support ray tracing. That it's not implemented on those games. I might try to check if, for example, I don't know, Marvelous Guardians of the Galaxy, which one of the games that I managed to claim for free on Epic Game Store. I might try to test some recording with that implemented. But then again, it's not something that I desperately want to see. But again, if it is an uplift there, I think it's good for other users that really want something like that. But yeah, don't expect that much kind of news until maybe CS next year regarding the 8000 series. I think RDNA, the issues that they had with RDNA 4 regarding the high end, I think they didn't manage to uh, do what they wanted to do. Basically, I think they wanted to do like two chips in the same board, kind of a thing there, because all the 8000 series that are coming up are going to be monolithic dies, and I think that what they're trying to do is something remnant of having two GPUs on the same board there, and I think they encounter some issues in R&D, and they to avoid delaying more the RDNA launch, they prefer to put all the work that they've been putting there and pass it on to RDNA 5. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, other than that, hopefully they can launch the 8000 series before Nvidia do their 5000 series, at least the middle range, like 57 and 5800 from AMD, from Nvidia, sorry, and launch a little bit before so they can eat up a little bit in terms of the market there. Even though mind share regarding Nvidia is still the same, but yeah, even their current gen GPUs, they are pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with the GPU that I have for now. Of course, I would have better performance with a 4090 for sure. But for the games that I play, which are that I don't need like Huber frame rates on my screen, I'm pretty satisfied and content with 4K 60 base as a baseline. I'm more than willing to compromise in some settings here and there in terms of quality of graphic wise, but for the games that I've been playing, I'm achieving at least 4K 60, which is more than good for me. So again, don't chase the frames, because then you're just trying to reach a number that you are not going to be take full advantage of, and I think that's my main thing here. As a older guy that already seen a lot of stuff happen, I don't think there's a need to chase the frames, the number. It will not lead you anywhere. Basically, just put yourself in a baseline. So I want to achieve X thing. So I want to achieve a certain resolution at a certain frame rate as a baseline, and keep that in mind when you choose a GPU, regardless of the generation of that GPU, and taking also account what kind of games you usually play. If you want to usually play first-person shooters that demand a higher frame rate, maybe you have to do yourself a compromise on the baseline of lowering a little bit the resolution to achieve more frame rates. I think it's better than just trying to reach 4K 360 frames, which is impossible to even for a 4090. But yeah, in terms of gameplay, usually that's what I'm always aiming for as a baseline for the moment being. Maybe in a few 5 years time, I will aiming for 4K 120 or 144 or probably 8K 60. I don't know, depending on how the market goes. But yeah, other than that, I will try to keep my eyes, of course, on everything regarding GPU stuff there. Continuing with AMD, we got some thing which is Sinkclose. Supposedly millions systems running AMD, Ryzen, and EPYC CPUs are affected by this vulnerability. Mitigation already rolled out. Again, from what I read here, for the normal user, I don't think this is going to be a huge issue. So there's no need to shut down the computer to avoid this. I think the even for this to work properly, I think you have to be installing malware, which can be done, I don't know, by phishing through an email or installing a software that's going to be basically run this malware. And from what I understand, I think, however, to insert a piece of code, hackers must obtain deep access to AMD-based PC or server. Basically, to achieve control of your system, the introduce can utilize malware, which is undetectable. But I think for to introduce, they need direct access to your PC, from what I understand. So a normal user, I don't think he should panic. At least that's the perception that I have there. AMD already recognized this. I will assume a BIOS update will come out eventually. But I don't think, in terms of like the normal home user, that only or the family household. Again, household depends. But at least if you are the only user of your own PC, as long as you always take care of not open any kind of stuff that you don't know exactly what you are opening, or download any files that you receive from an email, as long as you are have a cautious mind, I don't think you're any kind of danger here. But yeah, other than that, it will probably be patched up in a BIOS update somewhere along the lines. But I will try to keep myself paying attention to this to see if there is any kind of stuff that we are not seeing at this moment that might need some urgency in terms of patching this situation. But in terms of games and going for some good news, similarly, Tango Gameworks and i5 Rush IP have just been acquired by KRAFTON. Again, a little bit muddy on the details, but it seems that they just made an acquisition of the studio, Tango Gameworks, KRAFTON. The press release doesn't go about a lot of details because I think they are still trying to smooth those out. But again, this is basically they announced this as a strategic agreement. Again, I'm not sure if they're fully buying the studio by itself, because if not mistaken, I'm not sure how it worked between Tango Gameworks and ZeniMax, which is the publisher of those games, how the IP's ownership goes about between them. That's why they, at this moment, are calling this a strategic agreement. What I think they are going to do at this moment in time is acquiring the studio itself, in the sense that everybody keeps their jobs and they will continue to develop what were developing, or the future projects they already had on the pipeline there. I think they will continue like that. So basically, it's going to be an injection of money from KRAFTON, and at least in future projects, they will have the return on the investment there. And I think probably they will try, let's see, hopefully, to get around and get ownership of the IPs that were at least developed by Tango Gameworks. Again, it all depends on how the IP ownership is, if it is always owned by Tango Gameworks, or they have like a co-ownership with ZeniMax, similar like Elden Ring had between From Software and Bandai Namco, but then From Software managed to reacquire all the IP ownership on that. I don't know if it had something to do with this, but yeah. Hopefully, in terms of the games itself, the Evil Within franchise, Ghostwire Tokyo, and the original i5 Rush, nothing's going to happen. Everything stays on the stores there, so nothing is going to be removed. It's more about in the background scenes how they are going to work out that. Mainly, let's see if KRAFTON manage to get around and owning those IPs. I think it will be a good thing, because then they can proceed they have the incentive of continuing with the franchises, mainly the Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo, like sequels and the such. Because if they don't get the ownership there is no incentive of making new games in those franchises. They will try to do other IPs. But yeah, there's still some stuff that needs some wrapping up there. Um, but only time will tell how those agreements will come out. But at least for the time being, Tango Gameworks is going to continue to develop games. The personnel that was at the studio, I will assume they will continue. I'm not sure in terms of layoffs how the process was going there, since it's been a few months since the announcement of the closure of Tango Gameworks and the other free studios there. I'm not sure at the time of the announcement, KRAFTON entered in negotiations and basically paused the closure of that studio. I don't know. They didn't tell us in this, at least in this excerpt, more information regarding the process of the agreements when they came into conversations, all that jazz. But at least we got something out of this, which is good, which is at least Tango Gameworks, which did. I really enjoyed the Evil Within. I made some gameplay series out of it from both games. I really enjoy the lore and some themes they were trying to approach. The execution was not perfect. The games themselves have some issues here and there, but overall, I think it can lend itself to continuing the Sebastian Castellanos storyline there. I think there is some exploration that can be done and improved upon, and hopefully, given that I think even the Evil Within, they had their own engine created for that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember properly, but I think they could take a advantage of, I don't know, improving the engine to be more fluid, because it was a little bit janking in some stuff there. But I think they could expand a little bit more on Evil Within. Ghostwire Tokyo, I still didn't play this game. Um, when I can, I will try to see if I can get it on a deal or something like that, and make a series out of it. It seems a very interesting game. And Hi-Fi Rush is not for me. It's a beat 'em up game. I usually don't enjoy those kind of games, but the game seems to, for people that like this kind of games, it's a very excellent game. But yeah, it's going to. So the games are going to be continued to be sold. It's a matter to see how the future holds for Tango Gameworks. In other news, I covered the Black Myth Wukong briefly, the latest trailer that they launched before the launch of the game, and Faxolite did kind of a breakdown of the trailer, going about like locations, transformations of the character, got companions, possible companions, fast traveling mechanics. Let's see how it goes, and certain bosses. Again, they go about in different kinds of stuff regarding the game from the trailer breakdown, and I think they did a good job here. I really do recommend watching this article, and if you just want the trailer, you have the trailer here on the beginning of the article there. And lastly, with all the stuff that Monster Hunter Wilds is been coming out, especially the mechanics and the weapons that are coming out, I do recommend watching Rurikhan. Is a fellow Portuguese creator like me, and it is already well known and well versed on Monster Hunter universe. I think he played Monster Hunter for, from what I know, since the early days of Monster Hunter. But yeah, he does a really good breakdown. He knows all the mechanics and does a lot of comparisons with Monster Hunter World, with how it compares between like the abilities and the search. Because I'm not well versed, I just enjoy watching the trailers there, and ramp up my curiosity on this franchise here. But he goes about in depth regarding the weapons themselves, and you get a good idea what they are trying to do here for Monster Hunter Wilds. Hopefully, we'll continue to get more out of this Monster Hunter Wilds, like continuing to see what kind of gameplay mechanics they will have associated with it. I think there's going to be a crescendo here until the Gamescom, because in Gamescom we know they are going to have at least 60 demo stations there for people to try out the game, which is pretty good. And at least we might have a crescendo in terms of videos, not only from the weapons themselves, but game systems like crafting, resting, the hunting itself, what you usually need to do to go for hunting monsters, and I don't know, story wise, if you have like a breakdown of how the story will unfold itself. I don't know. I would like to see more stuff out of this Monster Hunter Wilds, but I'm almost certain that I'm going to play this game when it comes out. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But yeah, other than this is the news that I got. We're going for some gaming news. We still have QuakeCom sale here until the 21st, and we got Doom 80% off. You got Doom franchise, which is all the Doom games. Again, depends on if you like to do it or not. But you got also Doom Eternal 60% off, or in the Ancient Gods Part 2 again. I think the deluxe edition. Yeah, I think it's the better one because it has the DLC there. We got also Prey again. This is got a stamp of approval from me. 80% off. If you're not sure this game is for you, you can check out my gameplay series that I did on this one, at least the first episode, so you can get an idea what this game is all about. I really do recommend this game, especially at this price point. We got also Ghostwire Tokyo again. We're talking about Tango Gameworks. It's on sale here, 75% off on the base game. Then you got the deluxe version. I don't know what they bring here. Deluxe upgrade. I don't know what it brings. Got soundtrack and all that jazz there. We got also Dredge is 35% off. This is the base version. Last time it was the deluxe version that was on sale, but at this moment is only the base game here. We got also Vampire Survivors again. I do recommend the all-in thingy, which is this one. Survivors game, all DLC and OST bundle. It is what I recommend. Again, if you like action roguelike, bullet hell, pixel graphic kind of a thing here, this game is for you for sure. From what I've seen, this is very addicting game. It's just one more run, and yeah, it's a very interesting game here. We got also Dead Space remake on sale. It's around $65. Again, I kind of recommend this if you like the first game, the original one, and you're curious about this one. I kind of recommend it around this price point. I don't think there's a need to buy this the deluxe version. I did buy this one, but yeah, it only has some suits here, nothing else entirely. Again, the game is pretty good. The only complaint that I have is the vertical stuttering in terms of the when the game tries to load up the scenario, the level on the background. You can notice near doors a lot of stuttering from time to time. I don't think there is a mitigation process about this. I think the game should have been more optimized in that regard. But other than that, I enjoyed pretty much the game. Again, I did a series on this one. If you want to see how this flows, you can check out the gameplay playlist that I did there. The first episode, I think it's more than good enough for you to have a good idea what this game is all about. And yeah, and lastly here we got XCOM Chimera Squad. Again, the XCOM series is on a deal here, but for example, and XCOM 2, The War of the Chosen, which is the main expansion, is not on sale, so it brings the price too much there. But if you want to at least take advantage of the XCOM 2 base game and some packs that they have, you can buy it. But when the time comes of XCOM 2 being all on sale, I will let you know. And even the XCOM Enemy Unknown and Enemy Within is not on sale, but Enemy Unknown is on sale. So that leaves me only XCOM Chimera Squad here. It's only have the base game. I'm not sure about mods, how many mods are there out there and the quality of them. And I still didn't manage to play this game. It's one of those that I will eventually play out, at least make a run out of it. But yeah, this seems interesting. Again, this is supposedly a spiritual sequel of XCOM 2 because it happens after XCOM 2 finale. But yeah, it's on sale. It's pretty cheap, and I think it might be a good. If you like XCOM, I think this is a no-brainer here. But yeah, on GOG we got God of War again. I'm covering here God of War because on GOG there is no DRM shenanigans of activating online or having online connection to play the game. So this is a stamp of approval from GOG part here, and the 60% off. And again, this at least the first one, it's pretty good from all the reviews. Ragnarok, it's a little bit more flimsy, but yeah, at least this one is good. We got also Mutineer Zero Road to Eden. This is the deluxe version, which got the Seeds of Evil DLC. This got stamp of approval, the game itself, and it's a good one. I managed to bought around this price point, and I did manage to get around and do a series on this game. If you're not sure if this game is for you, again, I recommend for you to check out my playlist on this game here that I did, and I did with the deluxe version, deluxe edition, and I played Seeds of Evil DLC after the main game there. And we got also the Evil Within series, again 75% off, again stamp of approval here at this price point, and Evil Within to 80% off. Also got the stamp of approval here at this price point. Again, if you're not sure, you can check the gameplay series that I did on these games. It's on the main page of the channel. And lastly, we got the Thaumaturge, 33% off on the standard edition. Again, kind of detective noir kind of a thing here, with some turn-based combat here. Very interesting, and it's got good reviews, so that's why it's here on the gaming deals part of the video. So this is what I got for you today, guys. I will just wrap up with a plug on my Patreon as usual. Patreon for extra support on this time is more for me to get around and get a better storage solution, so I can handle backups that of stuff that I do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.